Okay, so we're now fully back into the swing of things. We're here for round 12 of the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring, located in Budapest. The 13th time the Hungarian Grand Prix has been on the calendar, the 7th of 9 circuits that appear on the OC calendar every season, and the circuit is nicknamed by fans as Monaco without the barriers. The track took only 8 months to build, the quickest any F1 circuit has been completed, 6 teams having won here over the past 12 seasons, Mercedes winning the most out of McLaren and Red Bull. Previous 3 winners of the track have included Jamie Mackenzie winning in 2015 and 2016, and Will Neller winning last season on his way to getting his first and only top tier OC title. So after the last round, which was won by Florian Volker, meaning in front of his adoring German fans, can he win again here in Hungary? Of course, he has the lap record here, set all the way back in 2009 on 117.4, 70 laps around this track, the circuit length of 4.381 kilometers, 14 corners. So can Volker win again to preserve his record of the lap record and winning here, of course. The medium tyres are the tyres we'll be using for this race, of course. And the driver of the day from last time out in Germany was, of course, Florian Volker, with an unbelievable victory in front of his home fans. So there we go. So now we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Hungarian Grand Prix. On the front row, it is Franco Lopez from Mercedes and Evan Byrne. Yes, that's right, Evan Byrne, second for Renault, alongside him. On row 2 of the grid we have Joel Hutter and Amar Kar for Red Bull and Ferrari. On the third row of the grid we have Florian Volker, winner from last time out in Germany, and Joseph Willers for Ferrari. On row 4 of the grid, 7th and 8th, we have Miklos Gal for Red Bull and Lean Gapara, an excellent qualifying by the American in 8th position. On row 5 of the grid we have George Rick for Haas and Roberto Gamba for McLaren. Good qualifying by both those drivers. On row 6 of the grid we have Jay Mackenzie for Renault and Roland Moitian for Force India. On row 7 of the grid, Roland Moitian of course racing in front of his home fans, lest we not forget. Felix Sonntag and Kilswater de Rossa 13th and 14th on the grid. 15th is Franco Gamba for Haas and 16th is Gabriel Gomez for Sauber. Not the best qualifying by Franco Gamba considering how his season has gone. Paulino Thomas 17th for Sauber and Maxime Titkov 18th for Manor. That is row 9 of the grid. On row 10, we have Enis Barachki for Toro Rosso and Tiravi now Tiranen for Force India, 9th and 20th. And on the last row of the grid, 21st and 22nd, we have Laura Chung, a very bad qualifying by her, in 21st position, and Etienne Jones last on the grid in 22nd. So before we head to the grid, we have some OC news, and Franco Lopez will, of course, unsurprisingly remain at Mercedes. Joseph Willers will remain at Ferrari. Franco Gamba will leave Haas and will join Red Bull, taking the slot of Joel Hutter, of course, who will not be racing next season. And Paulino Tomaselli will leave Sauber and will join McLaren for next season. So a couple of interesting driver changes and 2 drivers staying at teams, which is not unexpected at all. But this is the weather for the Hungarian Grand Prix. 0% chance of rain. It'll be a sunny race, not really much of a surprise. So let's get this show on the road. So here we go. So Evan Byrne, what an unbelievable qualifying, just 5 thousandths off taking pole, which would have been one of the most unexpected poles in OC history. But the 5 lights are now coming on here at Hungary. The 5 lights are on, and we're underway. And who's going to jump into the first corner? It looks like Byrne has made a pretty decent start, but I think Lopez has the jump on him, although Byrne was quite close to the head towards the first corner. I think Lopez will get it, and Byrne might drop to third here if he's not careful. And as the Ferrari trying to go around the outside of him as they head towards the first corner, it's getting very tight. I think, is that Willers that's got past? No, it's Carcer, I think, has managed to jump Byrne into second position, so Byrne down to third. But it's still not a bad start. Volker in fourth. There's Willers trying to go around the outside. Campana's made a good start, actually. So is Roberto Gamba. Oh, there's a major accident, and De Rossa is out at turn 2, and there's a big pilot behind. There's a Force India out as well. And oh, what a dramatic start to this Hungarian Grand Prix already. So De Rossa is out there, and Roland Moitian, the home favourite, out in front of his home fans on the first lap. That is not the way that he would have wanted it to go. And so there we go, that's 2 cars out on the first lap. And I think it might actually be 3 because there's another car out. And who is that? It's actually Tomaselli who's out, I think, as well. So 3 cars out on the first lap here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. That is quite a start. So we're going to have a look to see what happened to, well, that incident right there. And what happened to Tomaselli as well. And he must have got hit at the first corner. So De Rossa tried to move on the inside and then got caught by Moitian as he came through. And unfortunately took himself and Moitian out. So very unfortunate there for the two, and particularly for Moitian in front of his home fans. And then I think actually, De Rossa actually gets hit by Chung as well. That's why she got damaged. So this is on board with Tomaselli, who made an okay start. Moved to the inside. There's a car coming through there. I think that's Parachki trying to attempt to come right through the middle there. And Tomaselli going into the first corner. What happens to him? Does he get hit from behind, or does he go into someone? And oh, he gets hit from behind. I don't know by who. And it looks like it's Franco Gamba actually in the Haas that is the one that caused that. So, as they were coming into the first corner. And no, actually it wasn't. So, Gamba actually got caught up behind Tomaselli's car as well, which is very unfortunate. I don't think Gamba actually got any damage from that. But I don't know who Tomaselli got hit by. But nonetheless, whoever he got hit by, he's out of this race. So very unfortunate for him. So, as we look at Lopez taking the fastest lap of the race, of course, on the first lap. Now here is Joseph Willow trying to get past Joel Hutter into turn 1 as they head down the front straight, and Willow should be through, and it's a pretty easy move. That is P5 for him. And behind Campana's actually doing a pretty good job. I think Gallo's just got past Roberto Gamba into the first corner as well. It was side by side between the two. It's Brachki and now Tyrrell battling into turn 1. That could have been deadly, but fortunately wasn't. But Lopez already getting a lead ahead of Carr, and a gap ahead of Byrne as well. They're kind of all just very spaced out at the top 5 at this moment in time. Look through the rest of the field. The yellow flag still out, I think, for the Cars and Moitian and De Rossa being taken away. But Byrne's still just about sticking its car, less than a second behind. So, I mean, as I said, no one expected Byrne to be doing this well. As here's Mackenzie trying to get past Roberto Gamba coming into the chicane. You're never going to make a move into there. I don't think I've ever seen anyone make a move into there, to be honest. So definitely a very interesting move that he's trying. But as we look at them coming through the tight, twisty section of the circuit, I suppose it all is tight and twisty technically, as this is of course nicknamed Monaco without the walls. And there's Gal, I think, who's on the back of Lean Campana in front of him, trying to get 7th away from him. But Roberto Gamba holding up Mackenzie, and there's Roque behind, who's got, I think that's the other Williams of Sontag behind him as well. As you know, it's not. It's Gabriel Gomez, I should say. Now here is Gal, who's on the back of Campana on the front straight, and surely he's going to make a move into the first corner. Red Bull versus Williams. You'd expect this move to be pretty easy. So Gal now on the inside of Campana. This should be the move into the first corner. Is he going to make a stick? And actually, no, he doesn't. And behind, Mackenzie trying to get past Roberto Gamba, but failing. And Gomez has got past the Haas of George Rowe into the first corner, so that is 11th place for him. And now he's going to be on the back of Mackenzie as they head towards what is turn 2. And he's all over the back of Mackenzie, not going to make a move there, so we'll have to wait. The two Manners they're battling, or I should say Jones, and I think that was Franco Gamba, I should say. So that was Gamba moving up into 16th position. So as we look at Armar Carr right now running in 2nd position, Byrne still just about sticking with him in 3rd. Been a good start by Byrne as well. I suppose he would have wished he was still ahead of Carr, but it's amazing that he's actually still this high up the order. But he's doing pretty well at the moment. Here we are looking at Franco Gamba coming in towards the chicane, getting a little bit out of shape really. Seems to be struggling with the tyres on that car. And fuel wise, he's got a fair bit of fuel in, so that's probably why he's struggling like he is. So as he comes through the left hand now through the fast right, where we've seen a number of incidents happen here over the years, but where cars have just made a mistake and just gone right into the wall. And yeah, it's very deadly, that corner, that is for sure. Now here we are looking at Willows, who's on the back of Volker into the first corner. It's side by side between the two. Willows should be through. This should be a pretty easy move, and the answer is yep. Willows is up into P4, and now he'll probably try and go after Evan Byrne in 3rd position. So far Willows having a pretty good race. Now here we are looking, this is the battle towards the end of the points. So this is Roberto Gamba still holding up Gabriel Gomez as they head towards the first corner. And Gomez is surely going to try and make a move. Is Roberto Gamba going to defend? He does. He moves over to the right. Gomez is on the inside, and I think this should be the move. And the answer is yes, it is. So Gomez moves up into the points, up into 10th position. Roberto Gamba down to 11th. Now Roque will be on his case. And Roberto Gamba, never mind. Roberto Gamba makes a mistake, goes a bit wide there, but does just about enough to keep the position there. And as of course, as we know, there's a number of instances that can happen in that corner. As Sontag now trying to get past Roku, who had a bad run of the corner, being held up by Roberto Gamba, but failing. And we're looking right now at Franco Lopez, who has a comfortable gap ahead of Armar Carr, just stretching it out bit by bit each lap. It's now 6 seconds, 6.2 seconds to be exact. So far it's a good race for Franco Lopez. It's pretty easy for him at the moment, as we look at him coming around the final corner to complete lap 5, move on to lap 6. He comes around, currently he's on a green lap. Here's Roberto Gamba, who's really struggling, and he goes wide a little bit, just about. He gets a bad run now. Roque's going to try and make a move on the inside, but he blocks him off, so he's not able to make it there. So he'll have to wait until the back straight, although he's still continuing to go wide. He's really all over the place. He cannot control the car. So Roque will surely try and make a move on the front straight. That's one of the overtaking spots you can get on this circuit. So as we look at Roke right in the slipstream, Roberto Gamba coming around the final corner onto the front straight, so he should make a move into the first corner. In the slipstream up to 6th gear, 7th, now up into 8th, just about, or we're still in 7th, and now we're up to 8th. Now Roke on the inside, this should be a very easy move, and Roke's through on the inside, and that is 11th position. So Roberto Gamba unfortunately falling down the order, yet again a bad race for McLaren. Now here we are looking at Felix Sonntag, who is getting a little bit out of shape as well, coming into turn 2, but still keeping it on the circuit. Now he'll go after Roberto Gamba for 12th, who of course is all over the place, but depends of course strategy wise what a lot of these guys decide to do, because of course some of them will try to do a 2-stop or maybe even a 3, probably the 3 just because you have the freshest tyres. So 1 is going to be very tough, particularly on this circuit. It's going to be very tough indeed. Now here we go, this is the battle actually for second. Byrne made a slight error, I think, as he was close to the back of Carr. Now his teammate Willows is right behind, although Carr might be holding up Byrne to allow his teammate to get past. So this could be very interesting indeed as they come round the final corner. Will Willows be close enough to make a move? And I think he will be. He's right in the slipstream, got a much better run through the corner. So I think Willows is surely going to have a go into the first corner. Willows on the inside. Is Byrne going to defend? He does. He moves out to the right, but I think Willows is still on the inside. I think this will be the move. Still very close. Will Byrne keep the position? I think Byrne actually has the run off the corner, so he's going to have the inside for turn 2. So I think this will be the move, or will it? No, Willows. Wow, Willows manages to somehow recover and take 3rd place there. I really thought Byrne had it covered going into turn 2 there, but fair play to Willows. He was getting that move done right then and there. So here we are looking on board at the replay of that. So Byrne did defend a little bit, not as much as I thought he would, and Willows was on the inside, and it was so close to contact. But I thought here, as you can see, Byrne coming at the inside, I thought Byrne surely had it back into turn 2, because he was on the inside, but Willows just carried the momentum around the outside and took 3rd position, and it was almost close to contact there as well, but fortunately no damage done there either. So here we are looking at Felix Sonntag, who is closing up to the back of Roberto Gamba as they come through into the corner, and oh, there's contact. Oh dear, Roberto Gamba's out, and Sonntag has to pit, so a double retirement from McLaren. They haven't even made it past 10 laps, so disastrous race for them. Now here we are looking at Franco Lopez, who's coming into the pits for his first stop at the race. Now this is obviously quite early, so and after just 10 laps, this is definitely going to be a 3-stopper. So into the pits he comes, and although it's quite a lot of fuel they put into his car there, so I don't know, it will be interesting to see, but I would imagine it would be a 3. We'll see. So he comes up the pits, he relinquishes the lead to Amar Carr, who will be in 2nd. So Evan Byrne is actually in the pits as well, so he's coming into the pits this lap. So let's see how much fuel they put into his car. They put a lot into Lopez's car. Let's have a look for Byrne. Did they put a lot in? Slightly less than Lopez, so I reckon for Byrne it will most likely be a 3-stop, I think. So they change all 4 tyres in his car, and out he goes. So he comes out to the exit of the pits. He's going to come out just outside of the top 10 behind George Roke in the Haas, who goes by there in 10th. There's a teammate Mackenzie in 8th at this moment in time, who is obviously just behind Nicholas Gow in 7th. So Byrne comes out in 11th, so he'll have a little bit of traffic to contend with. So at the moment, Florian Volker in 3rd position, who is about 4 seconds off of the lead, as we look at him coming through, and he's got a lot of fuel, Volker, so I wonder if Florian Volker might try the 1-stop here. I have a feeling that is probably what he is going to do. So here we are looking at Evan Byrne, who's now already caught up to the back of Rogan. Now here's Gal trying to battle with Lean Campana. Oh, they make contact, and Campana is around. And I didn't realise actually Gal that was still he was still stuck behind Campana, so he actually couldn't get past him ever since the start. So Lean Campana was actually having a pretty decent race, but unfortunately Gal has just bumped him out the way, and Jay McKenzie managed to slot through there as well. So there we go. Now this is the battle for P2. Now this is Franco Lopez, who is closing up to the back of Hutter and is surely going to take P4 away from him, and which he does. So there we go. Lopez up into P4, so pretty quickly he has managed to get that done. So Byrne, who is still stuck behind Roker, this will not do his strategy any good. Now into the pits comes Amar Carr for Ferrari, so here we go. And let's see how his stop will go and where he comes out on the circuit. I would imagine he'll still come out what will be, after everyone makes their stop, in 2nd position, because at the moment Lopez just had the pace over him out front. But let's see how much fuel they put into his car. And that's interesting actually. I wonder, I think Amar Carr might be doing the 2-stop here, because because it's lap 22. So I think Carl Car's going to go for the 2 stop. So this could be interesting, actually. So I think Lopez needs traffic to do him a favour here. And Miklas Gau, I think, is going to come out ahead of Carr, and I think he will. Actually, will Mackenzie do the same as well? It might be pretty close. I'm not sure, but as you can see, Byrne is still unable to get past Roke, despite the fact he's on much fresher tyres, and Roke is not pitting, I believe, for quite a few laps yet. So this is badly affecting the Irishman's race as they're coming on to the front straight, and Byrne just hasn't quite got the momentum off the corner to get in the slipstream. It's just not quite close enough. He's now getting a little bit more coming into the first corner as Roke moves over to the right a little bit, takes a very unusual line. Now Byrne might be close enough here to possibly make a move into turn 2. And no, not quite actually, so not quite in the slipstream. So as they come through into turn 2, and Byrne just can't do it here, so, and this is badly affecting his race. So if he had any chance of getting a podium, Roke might be eliminating any chance he has of that. So into the pits now comes Joseph Willers for his first stop of the race. So he was I think a couple seconds ahead of behind Amar Carr, I believe. So I wonder if he'll try and jump him in the stops. So at the moment, this will, of course, allow Florian Volker, who went up from last night in Germany, to take the lead. So Willers changes all 4 tyres, and he'll be doing the 2. So, of course, Lopez has gone already, and I believe he'll be doing the 3. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see if he does. So Willers now comes out of the pits, and is he going to come ahead of Carr, who actually is stuck behind Miklas Gau? This could be actually quite close, as Carr is going to try and make a move on the inside of Gau, and there is Willers coming out of the pits right now, and Carr does just about enough to get ahead and crucially passes Gall into the first corner, although Willers might try and pass Gall as well if he's not careful, and no, he can't quite do that. So that was a crucial move there by Carr, manages to just stay ahead of Willers there, and that could be very important come the end of the race. So, and that was a very important move by Carr. So Willers now needs to get past him now, and speaking of passing, Byrne is now attempting to pass Roke. This is the closest he's been for a few laps. Can he make it down the inside? And the answer is no, he can't. It just doesn't quite have the power, the Ferrari engine, to get through on the inside into the first corner there, so he's unable to make the move stick. Now here we are looking at Franco Lopez, who is already caught up to the back of Florian Volker, who of course is not pitting for a few laps yet. I just wonder if Lopez is going to be doing the 3 or the 2. If he does the 3, then I think Carr might be in a good position, but it depends on Lopez's pace. How far is he ahead? He's about He's a fair few seconds off, actually, Carl. So I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed come the end of the race what is going to happen here. I'm not sure who is going to win. I don't think Lopez is guaranteed the victory, that's for sure. But of course, Vulcan needs to let his teammate through because they're on different strategies if he wants to help Lopez win the race. But of course, they're both in a title fight. So who would want to be a team boss, eh? So as we look at the 2 Mercedes right now at the front of the field, we've never seen this before, ever. As we look at them coming through the fast left-hander there of turn 4, now coming through the long left-hander turn 5, now heading towards the chicane. They've got a Williams actually in front that they're about to lap, as the Volker comes through and Lopez is just gradually ever so slightly closing. And he's going to surely be on his case on the front straight, so Carr is 15 seconds behind overall, so it's not quite a pit stop, but it's getting there. So now here we are. Here is Lopez on the back of Volker, and Volker not only going to make it easy, and this is not what Lopez needs. He needs to get past Volker. He doesn't need Volker to be doing this to him. He'll be pretty cheesed off at the fact he's just done that, so he'll hope that he'll let him through. So as they come towards the final corner, as we're looking through the order, and actually finally Evan Bernard, being stuck behind Roke for at least I think the last 7 laps or so, has finally passed Roke into the first corner, and there we go. But unfortunately Bird's race has been badly affected by that. He's way behind Campana, ahead of him as well, so unfortunately for Evan Byrne it's not worked out for him at all, and this is the move Lopez who should be making on the inside of Volker in the first corner. Volker I should imagine doesn't defend, although it doesn't exactly make it easy, but Lopez I believe is through. Unless Volker tries to come back at the inside. It's still side by side between the two, but I imagine Lopez surely is going to keep the lead, is he? It's still side by side coming through turn 2. Volker, is he going to have the momentum? No, Lopez has the run and the tyres are on the outside. And finally Lopez gets through, and now he's clear. So I think Lopez will still be annoyed at the fact that he didn't still make it easy for him. So now Miklas Gau is coming into the pits for, I believe, his first stop of the race, I think. Actually, and I think the car behind him, I believe that was of Jay Mackenzie, is in 2. So we could see a pit stop battle between the Red Bull and the Renault here. So Gal is in, and there goes Mackenzie past, and he'll go into his pit box. But I think Gal should come out in front, unless they have a super bad pit stop. So they change all 4 tyres on both the cars. Yet Gal is already out, so Mackenzie will be behind him, and there we go. So Mackenzie goes behind Gal, so no change in the order there. Gal comes out onto the circuit, but of course the crucial thing for Gal is he's behind his old friend Lean Campana again, so he's going to have to go past him on the circuit. And actually Evan Byrne comes out still behind Gal. That's how much he was held up behind Roke. And speaking of Roke, he's still holding up this gaggle of cars here. He's got now Tiernan behind him. Gamma behind him is being overtaken by Gomez into the first corner, or at least trying to. Gomez is on the inside, which will now be the outside unless he gets the run off the corner. Gamba just about staying alongside him, but I think he's got the run, Gomez, and yes he has, so he does complete the move. Now this is the battle for P3. This is Hutter being overtaken by Carr, who's moving to the inside, and will Hutter put up a fight? He is. He's pushing Carr to the inside, and Carr should make the move stick, and he does, and I think Willers will just slot through as well. And no, actually not quite. Hutter gets the run off the corner, and keeps the position there, so didn't quite work out for Willers as well as Carr, but crucially Carr does make it through, which is important, as Willers being foiled once again, so close, and yet so far. As we're looking at Volker, who's actually not too far ahead of them. He's only about a second ahead, so of course I wonder if he'll hope that well, he'll hope his teammate will do him a favour and hold up Carr and Willows, because they are definitely in a battle for victory, that's for sure. Now this is Gal, who's on the back of Lean Campana. This is the battle as Mackenzie actually passes Byrne for 8th into the first corner. So for Evan Byrne, who started second, was running third, and unfortunately the Haas has been a pain in the ass. So that's why he's down the order now, and he's been overtaken by his teammate Mackenzie. So he's not gonna be happy, that is for sure. So there goes Carr, who's lapping the Williams there. Now Williams is on the inside of Hutter, heading towards turn 1. This should be an easy move for him. Williams on the inside, and has he done it? I think he has. Yes, and he's through. He's lost time to Carr, and now he'll have to lap this Williams as well. So he'll have to hope he'll lap him on the front straight, so he doesn't lose momentum. Hutter, who still hasn't pitted yet, so he's going quite long. Now Lean Campana is in, but the bad thing for Gal is he's got Jay Mackenzie on his case behind him as well, so unfortunately for Gal it's not working out particularly well for him. He would have thought he would have got away from Mackenzie after the stop, but it's not actually turned out that way, and I wonder if Mackenzie would have tried to make a move into the first corner. I'm hoping the cameras show that, but instead we're looking at Lean Campana coming into the pits for his I believe is his first stop of the race. I'm not sure actually. But anyway, so he's going to be going quite long. Actually, he's going to be going to the end. Actually, my calculations. I got my calculations wrong. I was thinking 30. Is that enough to go to the end? And yes, it is. So Lean Campana is actually going to try and go to the end here. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. I like his thinking though, because of course you can't necessarily overtake very easily, as we know, on this circuit. So I think I don't think that's a bad idea, but on the Williams, is it going to work though? Because of course we know it's not the greatest car in the world, but let's wish Campana the best for the rest of the race. So anyway, Volker comes in for his first and I believe his only stop of the race, and yes it will be, so he is doing the one stopper. So the question is, where's it going to come out on the circuit? Now into the pits actually comes Joel Hutter, who I believe is doing the same thing too. So Volker now rejoins. So I wonder if Volker will have anything to do with what happens up front as well, because of course he'll be on fresher tyres now, whereas the other guys out front, their tyres will be wearing quite a bit at the moment. So Hutter comes out obviously behind him, and I don't know if Hutter will be able to close up or not, but he'll come out ahead of Mackenzie. Evan Byrne comes in again, so you got a feel for Evan Byrne really. I mean, he was quite high at the start, but unfortunately stuck in traffic, and it really badly has affected him. So he is going to get points, but he could have wished he could have got so much more, and it looks like even his teammate Mackenzie could possibly beat him today as well. So as we look at Byrne coming into the pits, and the question, will he go to the end or not? And the answer is no, he doesn't actually. So he is doing the 3-stop as I did suspect, but unfortunately for him he's not going to be too happy about it, because of course, well, had he had no traffic then it could have been a whole lot better. But well, we'll see what he does on these fresher tyres, because when it comes to the end he'll be going off on them. So Byrne comes out now down in 40th position, and he does come out crucially actually ahead of Lean Campana, so that is important for him. Of course, the bad thing is he's got he's got all this traffic ahead of him, although Frank Gamba is picking this lap as Roku's been running in 10th, I'm pretty sure, for like most of this race, really. Oh, well, he won't be running 10th anymore, as his engine has just blown up, so, speak of the devil, commentator's curse, and Roku is out of this race, and Roku had been having pretty good form for Haas. Unfortunately, he's going to get nothing from this race, and the Mercedes there being held up, being covered in smoke as they go past there. It's unfortunate for Roke, but he was struggling, really. And he was, I think, on the one side, he wasn't actually pitting for quite a few laps yet, so... but it doesn't matter anymore. He was the train at the end of the points, and now the train has derailed, or the carriage has derailed anyway. So Roke pulls off, and that is a retirement. That's the first retirement in quite a few races, actually, for Roke, who, as I said, had a pretty good season. I mean, both Haas have had quite extraordinary seasons. I was not expecting them to be as high as they were in the constructor standings, 4th, but for once their luck is out, Haas, and well, for Roke at least. So he is out of this race on lap 38 of the Grand Prix, an oil leak it was, in fact. So having defended, I think, from the pack for so long, eventually just couldn't take it anymore, and there it was, and then the smoke comes right out, right there, and Frank Gamba finally manages to make his way through, and so did the other cars behind as well. Although the Toro Rosso just managed to sneak around the outside there, Parachi, of the corner. Now we're looking at Frank Gamba, who's in the pits, and I think there was another car in the pits as well. I think, was it Etienne Jones, I think? Chung is coming to the pits this lap as well, so Gal actually, I realised, of course, actually Mackenzie did pass Gal, so unfortunately for Miklas Gal, it's not been a great race for him, unfortunately. But at the moment, actually looking at the gaps up front, so Lopez is leading ahead of Carr by 8.3 seconds, whereas he's close behind him as well, so now, of course, Lopez will hope that these two battle and maybe take themselves off the racing line, maybe, but for him to win this race, so I don't know if Lopez is going to win it or not, but it looks like a battle between a Mercedes and 2 Ferraris for this race victory today. So, and actually speaking of Lopez, he is going to pit now, so I wonder, will he go to the end? And actually he's got the Renault of Evan Byrne, who's right behind him as well, so I wonder if Lopez will go to the end here or not. If he doesn't, then the Ferraris are probably going to win this race, I think. So this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. So Lopez now pits. The big question is, will he go to the end? So he'll come out in 3rd, Lopez. He'll come out ahead of his teammate, I believe, so that is important, I think. But here we go. So he comes in. Will he go to the end? If they don't go to the end, I'd be surprised. And the answer is, no, they don't. So, wow. So that is pretty much going to hand the battle between the 2 Ferraris for victory today, I think, because, wow, that's going to be very interesting indeed. So, of course, Volker is coming around the final corner, but Lopez will be comfortably in front of him. But, of course, the 2 Ferraris, they're one behind each other. They just need not to battle now, but, of course, Lopez has pitted, but, of course, once he goes by, it's... Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I'd say probably the Ferraris are the favourites at this moment in time. As we look at Byrne, who's running in 10th at the moment in time, battling with Enis Barachki, and he's behind now Tyrrell for 9th, having just overtaken the Toro Rosso. This was the battle between the two, and this was Byrne making the overtake into the first corner. And as you can see, he's on the inside and makes it through. It should be an easy move, and it is. So there we go. He made it past into 10th, and now will go after the Force India in front of now Tyrrell. Now here we go. This is the battle for the race lead between Willers and Carr. This is not exactly what they need, but Willers is going to try and make a move on the inside of Carr into the first corner. Carr not really defending, and is Willers going to make the move stick? The answer is yes, I think so. He'll have the run off the corner, but Carr will probably might still stick it on the inside into turn 2, and no, I think Willers has the run into the corner, and he does. So now Joseph Willers will take the lead of this race. So it looks like Willers is the quicker car. And as we see, Willows, he's stuck behind. He's now got a bit of traffic, although now Tyrrell has just gone in, so that's one less car to deal with. But he's got to deal with this battle. So he's got to deal with Parachki, Campana, and Evan Byrne as well. So Parachki is going to get lapped by Willows on the straight, or he's going to do it into turn 1, which he does. So Willows makes it through on the inside, of course. I'm not sure. I mean, Lopez, I don't know how far he is away. I don't think he'll necessarily have to deal with all this traffic when he comes up to these guys, because I think a lot of them are going to be pitting in the next few laps. So, but Lopez, I wonder. I don't honestly know who's going to win this race. But at the moment, Willers is leading, and you could say he's the favourite. Now Parachki is going to get lapped by Carr and he's get through. Lopez, you can see he's actually not that far away, Lopez. So you never know. So Lopez is definitely not out of it yet. Do not count him out of the battle for the win. He's definitely still in it, but he definitely would have won it had he just been on the 2-stop. I think it probably was a mistake by Mercedes, but if he still wins, it proves the pace on the Mercedes car. As we're looking at Willers, who has extended the gap, of course, the car behind, who still hasn't got past Prachki. He's caught him probably the worst part of the circuit. So now Willers is going to go and lap the American of Lean Campana in front of him. Gap now up to nearly 2 seconds. As Carr just not quite close enough there to the back of Prachki. And there's Lopez. You can see, look how much he's closed by Carr not lapping Prachki. So this is good news for Willows, but not good news for Carr. But for Willows, it's great news at this moment in time, as he's about to lap Lean Campana. Coming onto the front straight, the blue flags will be out, and I think he'll try and get him into the first corner if he's close enough. The gap now over 2 seconds, and Carr seemingly just doesn't have the pace to get past Prachki, it seems. And of course, there is that Mercedes in the background who is looking and lapping. And now I think actually Carr is close right up to the back of Prachki, so I wonder if now he'll try and lap him. The blue flag is out. Will he try and do it into coming onto the small straight after turn 3? He's going to try and go around the outside as he of Prachki, and that's not really worked out for him. That's probably the worst place. And oh, Prachki blocks him off there. It was the worst possible place to catch him, and now Lopez is right there, and he can't make the move here. But unfortunately for Carr, trying to lap Prachki at that corner was the worst possible time to do it, and that's allowed Lopez right behind him to catch up now. So, and I don't know what Prachki was doing, but I suppose it was just miscommunication between the two. So now here is Lopez right on the back of Armar Carr. They finally lapped, of course, Prachki. Wait, no, they haven't. Sorry, Prachki's actually got away. And oh no, Lean Campana is out. His engine has blown, and Lean Campana, who is set to get a good points finish for Williams, is going to get absolutely nothing. And you got to feel for him. He's had a great performance today, and oh dear, you really got to feel for him now, as he's holding up Prachki severely, and that will allow, of course, the two Carr and Lopez to battle. They're trying to overtake each other. Lopez on the inside, and oh no, and oh, Lopez has taken out Armar Carr. And I was wondering if that move was on. It wasn't, and crucially, Armar Carr is out of this race. Unbelievable scenes, and that is crucial for the championship as well. And not good for Armar Carr. For Willows, that might have just handed in the victory for Lopez. If he pits now, I think he's going to go, surely going to go to the end. So it could still be a battle between Willows and Lopez for the victory, but that is just not the way Lopez, I think, wanted to go about it. So he pits now, and I would imagine, as I said, he will go to the end. If he doesn't, then Mercedes will, well, they've got to fuel into the end, surely. They must do. But Armar Carr out of this race, unbelievable. This race has taken a dramatic twist, so here we go. They changed all 4 tyres, and oh, and no, sorry, that was Campana again. I thought he'd already retired already, but he went to the back straight as well, but unfortunately that was as far as he got. So there we go. Campana out of the race. He was having a very promising race, running inside of the points, but unfortunately, as I said, he will be getting nothing from it, and you got to feel for him. So the engine, of course, blowing on that car, and Lopez 23, and I believe that is enough to get to the end, I think. That should be enough. So anyway, Willows comes in for his final stop of the race. Let's see how much fuel they put in. I imagine it'd be probably about similar to what they did for Volker. And yes, so Lopez will be going to the end, but of course, interesting now is that Volker, actually, will Volker take the lead of this race? Of course, Volker is going to the end, so they may have to overtake Volker on track if they come out behind. I'm not sure. And note, Willows is still going to take the lead, I think, although Volker has come across the line. Where is he coming into the first corner? No, he's there, so crucially, he does come out ahead of Volker. So at the moment, Volker might actually have P2 here. Hutter, I don't know if he has to make another stop for the end. Oh, and the Manners make contact there coming into the first corner, and luckily they don't take each other out, but it was Jones on the inside of Tikoff, and they just banged wheels there. Fortunately, no damage done. Now Jay McKenzie coming in for his final stop of the race for Renault, and so McKenzie himself has had a pretty good race, you have to say. He's done very, very well indeed, and he looks like he's set to get a pretty good points finish. He's going to be beating Evan Byrne as well this race, which I don't think he was expecting at all, because Byrne had qualified so high up. But of course, the word traffic comes to mind, and I'll be delighted, of course, the next round will of course be at Spa, where there is where it's not Monaco without the walls. It's the most it's the most easily overtakeable circuit on the calendar, as you could say. So into the pits actually comes Gabriel Gomez as well, who himself is running inside the points. So McKenzie does actually come out ahead of Byrne as well in 6th position. And Gabriel Gomez looking set to get some points for Sauber as well, having a pretty good race too. So,
prepare yourself for the
been quite a few good performances in this race. So Gomez comes out, and he will come out, I think, ahead of Prečky. No, I think he'll come up behind Prečky, actually, as he comes out the pits. And where is the Macedonian? And no, he does Kruti come out ahead of Prečky, who is actually pitting this lap as well. Now here is Willows, who is lapping Franco Gamba, or at least trying to, into the first corner. And Gamba not exactly letting him get through. Now here is now Tunen, who's closing up to the back of Volker, who of course is going to the end. And Lopez, of course, is running in third. So, but I imagine he'll catch up to Volker before the end of this race because he's on the fresher tyres and he's not pitting again as well. Willows makes a mistake there, trying to lap the Haas of Franco Gamba there. He went round the outside, going through turn 2, then coming through turn 3. Just took a bit too much momentum, clipped the curb, I think, slightly on the inside, and went wide onto the AstroTurf. And then, of course, loses the position back to Franco Gamba, so he'll have to lap him again. So a bit of an unnecessary thing that, of course, Willows has to do, but at the only time he doesn't need to worry because Volker is going to the end, and he's not going to catch up with him, and Lopez, I don't think, is going to have the time to catch up with him. So here we are looking at the Toros of Laura Chung, who is down in P15. She's had a pretty lonely race, really. And so we see Prečky is in the pits for his final stop of the race. Had a pretty decent race, and actually you can see Willows now finally has lapped Franco Gamba, and he's now clear of him. The gap to Volker actually came down quite a bit, but obviously now that he's passed him, it will go back up again. And there's still 15 laps to go, but I don't think Franco Lopez is going to be able to close up on Willows. So now into the pits comes Nicolas Gal for his final stop of the race. Okay, so he's coming quite late, and Evan Byrne, of course, coming in as well. So I forgot these two, of course, were on the 3 stop. So Byrne, unfortunately, is going to be pretty gutted at where he's going to finish this race. It looks like he'll still obviously finish in the points, but he really would have wished it could have been at least a top 5. I think he would have been pretty happy with that. But unfortunately, the 3 stop would have worked had he not been stuck in traffic. But he'll be very quick at the end, and so will Gal. So I wonder if they'll make progress at the end. We'll see. So he comes out behind Gabriel Gomez in 7th position. Now this is the battle for P9. This is now Tiernan versus Franco Gamba. This is for 9th position. Now Tiernan on the inside as the two Mercedes there battling for 2nd position. So Lopez, I think, is on the inside of Volker, and he does now take 2nd place. Not really surprising. So Lopez, of course, on those fresher tyres, getting past Volker, who is on the 1 stop. So Lopez would at least get 2nd place out of this race, but he probably wished it could have been 1st. Now, as we're looking at the manner, this is of, I think Maxime Tikov is his, Volker, and Volker's got a problem, and Florian Volker has got an issue with just 3 laps to go. Florian Volker, who was set to take 3rd position, is going to get no points. Quite incredible. You can see there was something wrong with the front left on his car there, and quite incredibly, Florian Volker, who was set to take 3rd position, quite a lonely race for him, but he is going to get nothing from this race. A suspension failure. This is almost kind of like Felipe Massa vibes from Hungary in 2008, real life there. But you can see Volker coming through as the camera almost making my head shake as we're coming through the final corner. And there it was, suspension failure coming onto the front straight, and you got a feel for Volker. It was on the 1 stop and didn't have the pace to win, but was set to take 3rd, which I think he would have been relatively happy with. But he's going to get nothing. Joel Hutter is set to take 3rd place off him as well. So, very unfortunate there for him. But here we are looking at the race leader, Joseph Willows. Now, we knew it was going to be a battle between the 2 Ferraris and Lopez for the win. And Lopez came out on top of the battle of Ferraris. And with Lopez, of course, having that collision with Carl, which he has just received a 10-second time penalty for, that helped Willows win the race. And, of course, for Willows, it didn't look like he was in the title contention. But with this win, he will bring himself back into title contention. His hopes are still fairly slim, but they're going to be on now, as we've still got plenty more races left to go of the season. But Joseph Willows, after what was a great race between him and Carr, is set to take victory and bring himself back into the title contention. And we'll see, of course, if this continues for the next round after this. So Willows coming around the final corner for the 70th and final time. He comes around, and Joseph Willows is going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a performance by him. He comes across the line, 1 hour and 35 minutes this race, and Gabriel Gomez is set to take a very impressive 6th position finish for Sauber. It finishes ahead of Evan Byrne, who, as I said, will be disappointed he's only got 7th out of this race. Franco Lopez will take 2nd place. It could have been a closer battle between him, Willows and Carr for the win, but unfortunately didn't turn out that way, but he'll take 2nd. Laura Chung in 13th position. Now Truman will take 8th, that's decent points for him. Felix Sontag in 14th, disappointing race for him. Lincoln Parner probably would have taken points had he not had that engine failure. Franco Gamba, who was back at the back of the field for a lot of the race, he'll take 9th position. I guess he'll be relatively happy with that. Well, he'll be even happier with the fact he's got a Red Bull seat for next season. Enis Barachki takes the final points finish in 10th. Joel Hutton will take 3rd place. He'll be very happy with that. And Jay McKenzie, what a performance by him as well. Jay McKenzie is set to take 4th position, and he's going to beat Nicholas Gow as well. They had a race-long battle, and Jay McKenzie has come out on top. So there we go, great performance by him in the Renault, and he's set to take 4th position as he now comes across the line. 4th for him. Jones will just miss out on the point, he's in 11th, and behind him Nicholas Gow will come across the line in 5th position, and then Maxim Titkov for Manor across the line in 12th, and there we go. That is the race over. So there we are. Now we'll take a look at the full race results. So Joseph Will is winning ahead of Franco Lopez, who stays 2nd, despite his 10-second time penalty. Joel Hutton 3rd, Jay McKenzie 4th, and Nicholas Gow in 5th position, the last car on the lead lap. Gabriel Gomez 6th, Evan Byrne 7th, Jeremy Naughton 8th, Franco Gamba 9th, and Enis Barachki 10th, with Etienne Jones at 11th. Franco Lopez setting the fastest lap at 1:18.766. The rest of the order is as follows: Maxim Titkov 12th, Laura Chung 13th, Felix Sontag 14th, and Florian Volker still classified, of course, despite the suspension pay at the end. Valmar Carl, Lincoln Parner, George Roque, Roberto Gamba, Roda Moitin, Kiosa de Rossa, and Paolino Tomaselli, the cars who did not finish this race. So now we're going to take a look at the drivers and the constructors standings after the Hungarian Grand Prix. So Franco Lopez now takes the lead ahead of Almar Carr thanks to his retirement. It's quite funny, obviously, considering the fact he took him out to take the lead. Florian Volker in 3rd. Willows only 5 points behind in 4th. Joel Hutton 5th. Nicholas Gow 6th within the rest of the order. Franco Gamba 7th. Roque 8th. Byrne and McKenzie moving up into Byrne into 10th and McKenzie into 9th. As we look at the rest of the order, Gabriel Gomez moving up to 16th. Tomaselli down to 12th. Moitin down to 13th. Chung 14th. Rossi 15th. Roberto Gamba in 18th, Enis Barachki moving ahead of Lincoln Parner to 19th, Etienne Jones 21st, and Maxim Titkov, of course, the only driver this season yet to score any points. Now we'll take a look finally at the constructor standings after Hungary, and the gap to only 10 points between Mercedes and Ferrari. That's going to be a fascinating battle all the way until the end of the season. Red Bull on their own in 3rd, Haas only less than 100 points behind them as well in 4th, Renault moving ahead of Force India in 5th, Sauber in 7th, Toro Rosso in 8th, McLaren 9th, Williams in 10th, and Manor in 11th. So there we are. That was the Hungarian Grand Prix. Not the most thrilling of races, but still not bad nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you for the next round, the Belgian Grand Prix at the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you there.